Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs, and this is a day that has a little bit of a dark cloud over it. It doesn't mean to have a dark cloud over it, but there's just a little bit of tension in the air because someone in the room was able to acquire floor seats to a Taylor Swift concert, and two of other people in the room weren't even allowed to participate in the pre-sale. So, Gia, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm feeling a little isolated.
You
should. I feel the tension in the air for sure.
Yeah.
And I apologize, but
You finna be in the pit.
I finna be in the pit. I finna be in the pit.
We're holding our L's. We're holding our L's right now.
I'm trying to be respectful.
Yeah, you got to be respectful.
be respectful.
Be
Yeah.
respectful, please. Be respectful to those of us who were not so lucky.
Yeah.
We're recording this right now. It's like Tuesday around noon, and we are in the midst of this Taylor Swift ticket drama. I personally was waitlisted like a fucking loser. I don't know what else I need to do for this woman to not be on a wait list as a fan, but apparently I am. I'm going to blame Ticketmaster for that one. And I'm just waiting. I gotta actually keep my phone like lit up right here because I'm waiting on a text to get off the wait list and try to get in this fucking queue to get a couple tickets. I'm looking for 2 tickets to a New York show. I'm getting one for myself, one for my friend, and that's it. That's all I'm looking for. Just let me in. Like, I have to have it. Apparently Ticketmaster's crashed like all morning. It's a fucking nightmare. So for those who were in the trenches at this point, it's Wednesday. I don't even know. Do you think that it will continue on through to when this is live? Like, how long are people going to like be
I
fighting
know.
for tickets? And
I feel
you know
like
what I mean?
since it's crashing, like they have to kind of like either redo it or let it go longer.
Totally.
Someone tweeted, "Where is Ticketmaster headquarters? We're about to January 6th, y'all."
Yo, I'm coming. I'm showing up.
No, I would
Where is
totally
it?
raid the
I'm
Ticketmaster
gonna look up-
headquarters.
I'm looking up Ticketmaster
Yeah.
MIC right now. I'm seeing what happens.
Go protest.
yeah.
That would be
Honestly,
hilarious.
like, yeah,
Like
what
how
if I
Dukes protested at
Yeah,
Wall
yeah,
Street.
yeah.
what to say? You guys fucking suck. It doesn't even tell me. Doesn't even tell me at
We're
all.
about to January 6th, y'all.
Was that a tweet?
Yeah,
I sent
I'll
that to
send
me
it
because I
to you.
need to retweet it. Oh, God damn it. It's in West Hollywood. Well, it looks like I'm boarding a flight, ladies. Because it's time to start
LAX, here we
ticketing.
come.
Damn. I mean, what a crazy situation. Like, I know that they have they've tried their best. They've done what they could to manage this crowd of people that are just ravenous for Taylor Swift tickets, just trying to become a part of this monumental tour that she's going on in the spring, summer. And it seemed like they were prepared. It seemed like they thought of everything. They had, they're letting people trickle in here and there, whatever, but somehow still it's falling short and nothing is working. So some people are lucky, some people are not lucky, but we're going to keep the vibes high. We're going to keep the spirits positive. We all deserve to go to this concert one way or another, and we will. And I'm feeling good about it. Gia definitely will, which is fucking ridiculous, but as will
Shout out
I, as
Cole
will Madeline. It'll be
Bixby.
great.
I got waitlisted too.
Oh yeah, that's
It's
right. Oh yeah,
literally my friend's little brother. Yeah, her
Which is
high
so clutch.
school.
Yeah, like
brother
how do
got
they
a
decide
code.
these
I know.
verified fans? Like
I
how?
don't know.
I'm just jealous. I'm just, whatever. So we'll get there. It'll be great. Taylor Swift also went to the MTV EMAs this past weekend, looking so fucking hot, like gorgeous,
Oh my God.
gorgeous, absolutely outrageous. Swept all the awards over there. That's like the European Music Awards, FYI. I also had to Google it. Don't worry. And so she's just crushing it. She's doing great. How are you guys doing otherwise? How was your weekends? How are you feeling?
We had a good weekend.
Nice
Oh,
wholesome
yeah?
weekend.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. Well,
Friday
what did you guys
we
do?
didn't
Out and
go
about?
out. Yeah.
Friday we didn't go out. I stayed right in.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
watched my
love staying
policeman. I watched my policeman
Oh,
on
how
Friday.
was that?
Gay.
It
was good.
Okay, great. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
it. Like,
no.
on
Like
a
if-
scale of like 1 to Call Me by Your Name.
Oh, it's like Call Me by Your Name is a straight ass movie compared.
You're
to-
kidding.
Oh my God.
What? You know, Call Me
Yes.
by Your Name is like one of my favorite movies.
Call Me
of
by
all
Your Name
time.
is in my
Oh,
top
same.
It's
three.
like a top 3, like
Same.
literally.
Movie of all
not
time.
I
like a
almost
top
got
3
a
movie.
tattoo of it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because Army Hammer's a
Yeah.
freak now.
Oh
But
fuck! I
yeah,
always forget
it
about.
is very
No,
much
Call
my
Me by Your
favorite
Name
movie.
is in my top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Such a good movie.
And it is so much gayer than that. It's really good though. I thought Harry did a good
Amazing.
job. Really good.
excited.
I was expecting to like have my heart like shattered and sobbing on the bathroom floor.
Yeah.
I didn't have that reaction. My roommate did though. But I'm also bad at crying. I
interesting.
don't cry in movies usually.
Oh, I'm a movie crier. You
So
know what
am
though?
I.
I'm a movie crier. Like I have to be kind of in the right mood. I also can't be in like a room full of people. Like it has to be like either me alone
Right.
or like one other person
Yeah.
who I'm not worried about like crying about a movie around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying you would cry in front of your roommate, I'm sure.
Yes.
But still, it's like
Oh, yeah.
sometimes it keeps you sucked in. And if somebody else is crying, it's like, all right, they've got the tears. I'll save mine for later.
She didn't cry until like the very, very end, but it's a good movie. I liked
Interesting.
it.
Okay, it's on my list. I keep forgetting, honestly. I keep forgetting to watch it. I think I went to go watch it recently. I forget what it was. I was like trying to watch it, and whoever I was with didn't feel like watching it, and I was like, oh, I'll save that for a rainy day.
Emma Corrin does really well in it. I really
Excellent,
like her.
excellent.
Yeah.
Ooh, love to hear that.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And
What
then
else
we
did you
just
guys
had-
do?
We just had a wholesome little Saturday.
Yeah. We went to Down the Hatch in West Village and drank.
Yum.
Then went to our
and
favorite bar
to-
in the city.
Yeah, went to Madeline's apartment.
Yes.
and
Very
then
fun.
Went to 11th Street in
Best
East
place
Village.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Ooh, just all over, all the little
Yeah,
neighborhoods.
all over.
Hopping.
I love it. I love a weekend like that where you just
Yeah.
pop around the whole city. I think
Yeah.
that's like the most fun.
Very chill, very fun.
Great weather too. So it was like I feel
Good
like that's
weather.
that. I feel like that was our official last good weather weekend.
For sure.
And I feel like we took advantage of
For
that.
sure, especially considering it's winter now. It's winter today.
Yeah.
I put on like my wool long coat, thinking like, oh, all right, on a day like this, I would normally wear a puffer jacket.
I wore my
but I was
puffer.
like, oh no, I'm not gonna go crazy. Like, let's not jump the gun on the puffer. And I
Yeah.
should have wore the fucking puffer
Yeah.
because it's
Mhm.
freezing
It's puffer
outside.
season.
Not
like
not a
that.
fan. Just like that, not a
Yeah.
fan. I love that. I love a wholesome weekend. One of my favorite things about New York specifically is the ability to pop around through the different neighborhoods. I feel like
Totally.
that's something, I'm always sucking New York stick like any chance I can get, but that is one of the most fun things to do, especially when you like are younger in the city and you have energy and whatever. Like some days I have more energy than others, but like it's so fun to just pop because every neighborhood has a different vibe, but are all equally as fun. I feel like
Yeah.
I can't think of one neighborhood that I'm like, oh fuck that. Like I can find somewhere good. What do you think? Maybe Murray Hill.
I was about to say
I'm not a Murray Hill
Murray
fan.
Hill.
But
I also
there are
don't like.
still a couple like good brunch spots in Murray Hill. Like Penelope
some-
is a
yeah.
really good
Oh, I
brunch
love
spot.
Honestly,
Penelope.
A good-
I'd
a good
rather go to
food, yeah.
Murray Hill at a bar in Murray Hill than go to a bar in like
Hell's Kitchen.
LES.
I
I was gonna say
I don't
like
know Hell's Kitchen.
LES.
Oh yeah,
where
Lower East
there's,
Side is
like-
not that. A little
like,
too sceney
I'm
down there
so,
sometimes.
Like not like other people.
Yeah.
Exactly,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
yeah.
Everyone on the Lower East
Yeah.
Side thinks that they're not like other girls.
Yeah.
Like that's just the fact. Even the guys
Yeah.
think
Oh,
yeah,
that.
yeah,
that they're
yeah.
not like other girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
no.
it's crazy. It's too it's become too trendy down there for me.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm too basic.
Yeah,
Same,
we're too
same.
basic, and we don't go, like we're not like the clubby
No.
type
Yeah, I don't
anymore.
like clubs.
No, so we go to like just like grimy, gross bars.
Same. I
Yeah.
love a dive bar. I'll go
Yeah.
to a club like once a quarter. I'll make my
Yeah,
way to a
yeah,
club
yeah.
for like someone's
Mhm.
birthday that
A
ends up
birth-
being
a
like,
birthday.
should we go to the club? And then we
Right.
end up at the club and it's like,
And
you
then
know,
I'm there. I'm like,
it's
fuck,
2
I hate
a.m.
the
and I'm like,
club.
wow, I want to go
Yeah,
home.
yeah.
Like, I'm not drunk enough to be here.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are the drugs? Like this is not like this is not my vibe, you know? Like you have to really prepare for the club. That sounds lovely. I had a very different weekend. I was visiting one of my high school besties who lives in North Carolina now. She just had a precious little baby.
Oh my god, it was so
Yes, I sent you guys the photo. I didn't. She posted all of us with
That
the baby,
was
and I
so
didn't
funny. I was
repost
like,
it.
Kelly, whose baby is that?
She's the cutest. He is the cutest little baby in the world.
He is
and
really cute.
we had a really nice weekend. It was myself and two of my other high school besties flew down there, and she and her husband lived down there. And
Lovely.
the baby is like 6 weeks old or something like
That's a
that.
fresh
like just a
baby.
fresh ass newborn.
Yeah.
You know, like head smells great.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean.
Aw.
And I always am like talking shit about like, oh, you know, marriage, kids, whatever. But I love other people's babies. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
if I can hold a little peanut cherub in my arms
Oh,
for a while,
yeah.
hell yeah, fucking right. That
My
sounds
aunt
amazing.
had a baby like she's 4, so it was 4 years ago, and
Yeah.
obviously, and
Yeah. She's
When,
4, so
when she was born, I was literally obsessed with her.
Yeah.
Every time she would come around, I just could not be around
Yeah.
her. I was like, I need to hold her. I need to play with her.
they're
I need
just
to
like
always
so
be around
warm
her.
and smushy.
Yeah, and now
so cute.
she's just a pain in the ass. She's
Yeah, of
smacking me
course.
all the way home. I rode in
no
the car
way.
with them from New Jersey back to New York. She's smacking me with her toy and
Nope.
yelling. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
It's like,
That
girl,
was a
forget
fun.
it.
That was a fun ride.
Yeah.
but it's over.
It was fun while it lasted. Now you're a nightmare.
You just permanently like put it in my brain that I don't want kids.
yeah, exactly. That's how it
Yeah.
goes. Like
Yeah.
they
Like,
get
they're
you with
so
the
cute and
newborns,
cuddly, yep,
and then you're
and then
stuck
the-
with them when
yeah.
they're nightmares.
the only baby that I haven't gotten the ick from, like I don't like kids that much, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't love them. Cash Kate's baby.
Oh my God, what a cute fucking baby he
that
is, huh?
baby.
Oh my
that
God.
baby.
Yes.
I want to steal him.
Yeah, he's
He's
really
Every
so he has the
time.
most expressive face.
And
I
his
always am saying that. And
curls.
his little curly hair.
Oh my God! If you don't know what her
Kate,
son
Kate
looks
who
like,
works
Kate
here,
who works here.
works at Barstool with us. She had a baby. I think Cash is like
Cash
he's
is like
over
a year and a half.
like a little over a year. Yeah, yeah.
And I babysat him a couple months ago.
Oh my God, you did.
Up like in the office,
Oh.
and he
Yeah.
is like just so.
He's got these
cute
big
and
eyes, these little
cuddly.
blonde curls.
And I was down the shore with him too, and
oh,
and him in a little like swimsuit. I was like, oh, you are the only baby that I like.
just
He-
a precious. A
yeah,
precious
and his
angel.
dad. I mean, his dad is Pat, who's
hilarious,
who is
yeah.
the,
Love
one of the
Pat.
funniest people in the world too.
Yes.
So it's like you have funny, cool parents.
Mhm.
Like, oh, he's
Yeah, he'll
so
be
cute.
there is no chance that kid isn't like funny and cool forever.
Oh my
so-
God, and his name is Cash.
yeah, I know, what a cool name.
like you're the
He's gonna be
coolest.
so pimp at school, like when he gets
Ugh.
older. It's gonna be so cool.
But he's the only baby
Jealous.
that I'm not like.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to like kids sometimes. Like
Yeah.
it's hard to really attach to them. But whenever it's someone close to you or someone that like like my friend specifically like wanted kids so bad, has always wanted children, had a little bit of trouble having her son now, and the fact that like she has this baby, he's healthy, they're happy, everything's wonderful. It makes you think differently. You're like, oh my God, like this is so
Yeah.
great. Like I love this baby. Like what a like precious gift. I know that's fucking crazy to say shit like that, especially coming from me, who I'm like, again, I'm talking shit all the time, but I will not talk shit on the babies that are in my immediate life. They
Right.
are precious and better than all the other babies out there. But yeah, so I had a fun weekend down there. Got to go to Biscuitville, which is
What's that?
a fast food chicken and biscuits like waffle type spot
Yeah.
down south. Haven't been there since college, so I was excited about that. And yeah, just got a little taste of North Kakalaki. I missed it. Hadn't been there for a while, and it was fun. It was fun to go back down there.
It's a great state.
Yeah, good state. Good
Yeah.
state to visit.
Yeah, not to live.
And spend a short amount of time in.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, at least. For us bitchy Northerners, it's a slow burn. But yeah, so that was a lovely weekend. Came back to the tundra. Now it's cold, and woke up to the news yesterday that Pete Davidson and Emily Ratajkowski are dating now. Just everybody keeps saying that. Just blanket say, oh, they're dating. They're
Yeah.
dating. They're a couple. They probably Stylecaster posted that they were seen on a date in Brooklyn. I don't know how that turns into like they're dating. You're an official couple, but gee, I think you said before they could just be fucking. Like they
Yeah.
could just be, or you said
Yeah,
it. They could just be fucking. They could have just like gone out for dinner. They could be hanging out, whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're making out, like holding hands.
What's
That's
that
what
Kim
I heard.
Kardashian sounds like? I needed to see what that
BDE
BDE was
Yeah,
all
BG
about.
is all about.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like she's just checking it out. Emrata's a single woman.
Yeah.
What, 2 weeks ago she was dating that DJ? Oh, I'm glad she took our advice.
Oh,
yeah,
actually.
don't date the
yeah.
DJ.
She took
Don't
our
date the
advice.
DJ.
I'm so glad that I love that she listens to our podcast. Thank you. Shout out to Emrata. Thank you for listening to our advice. We just want the best for you, babe. And yeah, Pete's okay. Like that's what we think. Like Pete's fine. He's not here for a long time. He's here for a good time. So
I was
enjoy
talking
your
about
time.
it with my friends, and it seems like, obviously I don't know him, and I love to talk about celebrities like I know
Same.
them.
Yeah.
It
That's
seems
what we
to
do.
me like he goes for these beautiful women that are coming out of like toxic relationships.
Totally.
And he may be a bit of like a love bomber, clingy type
Oh,
of
without
guy,
question. Based on
where
every
he-
tattoo he's ever gotten. He gets a
Yes.
tattoo in 5 seconds.
Yes, he
yeah.
just showers them with love, and then the woman's like, "Oh, this is so nice. Like I'm not used to this because I was in this bad relationship."
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe it just gets too much for them, and they break up, and it's
They
like
come
a
out of
repeating
the-
cycle.
Right. They come out of like the love haze. They come
Yeah.
out of their,
Yeah.
I don't want to say that Pete Davidson's always a rebound, but he low-key is. Like
Oh,
he's just,
yeah.
I think he's made it that way,
that's
though.
kind of his vibe. Like I think he kind of likes that. I think he likes a wounded bird. He likes picking up the pieces. He likes,
Yeah.
like you said, love bombing, getting tattoos, all the above. Did you guys see that directly after that,
Oh, the
Kim
Kim,
Kardashian? Yeah, what the
No,
hell
wait,
is that
what?
about?
That video was so
Kim
weird.
posted so weird. North
Yeah.
hated it. Like I here's my thoughts. Did Kim post it?
Yeah, it was
Kim
on
posted
Kim and
on
North.
her. Oh, Kim and
on
North.
Kim and North TikTok. Oh,
Kim
that
and North
TikTok,
TikTok,
makes
but
me
also-
laugh so
They
hard.
need, I want them to turn on the
Comments
comments.
so
Yeah.
bad. Me fucking too. So bad.
Turn
I
on the
want them to turn on
comments,
the
Kim,
content.
because that would be pure comedy gold. Please
It'd
turn
be
on the comments.
hilarious. I bet they
Yeah.
don't. Well, they used to be so funny. Remember they were on and it was
Yeah, they're
always
like,
like
North Venmo me $1 million.
North North, please go get mommy's wallet. Like, North, can you
North,
just
is
read
Pete
what
over
mommy's
today?
credit card numbers are? Like, it was so fucking funny. But I understand why they're closed. Obviously, she's
Oh,
like a small
yeah.
child, and it's like ridiculous, and she can read, obviously. But so the video we're talking about was posted on Kim and North's TikTok. They have a shared TikTok. It's a great follow, by the way. North is a really good TikToker, FYI.
North is hilarious.
And I love her for that. And the TikTok is the two of them, Kim and North, singing along to an Ariana Grande Christmas song. And it's kind of at a part where it's like a bitchy lyric or something like that. But you can tell that Kim and North are maybe singing it already, and then Kim like props up the phone, and as soon as she does, North is like kind of giving her side eye, like, "What are we doing here, Mom? Like, are we like, what's the word? Throwing shade? Are we out here like
That's funny.
calling out Pete Davidson because he's dating Emrata
Yeah,
now? Like,
that was
what's the
funny.
deal?" And so that's what it seemed like to me. And North was definitely rolling her eyes at her mom, trying to like make her boyfriend feel like whatever. And yeah, I don't know. Do you think that Kim is jealous of this situation? It sounds like she broke up with Pete. So
Yeah,
I mean, you still get jealous when you break up
I
with
was
somebody.
gonna say maybe she.
I would
is-
still be pissed. I'd be
so
like, "How
she's
dare
like,
you?"
Damn, like already you found someone
Yeah.
else, and it's Emrata who's so hot. So
I
it's like-
know.
she's probably like doing it in like a shady way where she's like a little bitter, but like at the
Totally.
same time she's like thinks it's funny.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
her like
mean?
official comment.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I'm hanging out with Ariana. Like,
Yeah.
now I'm just one of the exes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
whatever. You know.
I also think like that's just Pete's move. Like
Totally.
he's gonna be with Emrata maybe for like 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then he'll move on,
And he'll move on, and she'll move on, and we'll all move on, and we'll stop talking about
and then he'll date
Pete Davidson.
Giselle.
Do you think?
Oh, if
He
he's dating,
so
if he's being seen
could.
with Emrata,
How has anyone said that
She's
yet?
dating her
Yes.
taekwondo instructor.
Oh yeah, for
oh
sure.
yeah, that's a thing too.
She is dating, which is that was the other thing I wanted to talk about. This is that Giselle has already moved on. Giselle's got a new boyfriend,
To her
her taekwondo
taekwondo.
instructor.
All the
which is
bitter
fucking
men are
hilarious.
like, she cheated on Tom Brady. She
oh
cheated on Tom
yeah,
Brady.
oh yeah.
No, I mean like you don't know that.
You don't know
They
that. Also,
probably
you don't know
have
how
been
long
in
they've
the-
been separated.
Exactly.
You
They've
don't know
probably
how
been separated for such a
what the
long
situation
time.
is. It is
Yeah.
kind of funny though. I'm a little cliche to be like dating XYZ instructor of yours that's like fitness related.
Yeah,
like,
I
feel
know,
like
it's
that's
very
always
funny.
that's always a thing that that people who are freshly separated or divorced or whatever
Yeah.
just kind of do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't really understand why people get so mad when people move on quickly. Although I am guilty of this. Like if you move on too quick, like I'm pissed off. So
Yeah.
I just want you to pine away from me forever. But
Yeah,
as far
I
as the
mean-
general public is concerned, why is anybody pissed that Giselle is moving on? Like Tom, again,
Yeah.
he's too busy fucking his football to really notice her. So why can't she go fuck her taekwondo instructor? Like I don't know why.
Literally.
So good for her. Power to her. Love it. I do love that narrative of potential Pete Davidson relationship though. What do
Yeah,
you
I would
think?
love that.
Do you think that would just be so fucking insane? Like, do you think that
Exact
would be the
opposite people.
biggest right? Like, do you think that would be the biggest discrepancy between people that are dating, like, or whatever, like going from Tom Brady to Pete Davidson? Like, I feel like
I feel like
Kim
the
Kardashian
Kanye
went
West-
from but Kanye is like a freak. I don't know. Like he's
Kanye,
so
yeah.
famous and whatever, and I guess he's like great at what he did and whatever, but like. He's just like a nightmare, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think of him as good as Tom Brady. Like as much shit as I'll talk about Tom Brady, obviously all day long. Especially now because of this whole like macho
Yeah, I
man
hate him.
playing football forever thing. Like I'm over it. But respect the fact that he's like amazing at what he does, and I understand like he was great and everybody loves him. And generally
Right.
speaking, he's not an asshole. So as far as I can tell,
Right.
so I don't know.
I do feel like
Like, do you
yeah,
think
he's
it's a
like
bigger
very
deal?
serious, very uptight about his life.
For sure,
Big family man,
for sure.
I guess, quote unquote. And then
Right.
like Pete Davidson's like casual, has a ton of tattoos, is like a stand-up comedian who
Mhm.
like very different.
He's just like
in
random
terms
as
of-
fuck.
Yeah.
Is he though? Is he still random as fuck? Like at what point can we start being like, oh yeah, Pete Davidson, he's just like a pussy slayer, you know?
I kind of feel like at a certain point.
like is he Jack Nicholson now? Like I don't know.
I feel like it might become like, I don't know the right word, but like chuggy to like be dating Pete
Yes.
Davidson. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
that's a good way to
at
put
a
it.
certain point, like
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ran through
it's
a
like
little bit.
exactly like now she's with Pete Davidson. Like
Right, it's like his
it's
MO.
like,
right.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like oh
like at a certain
like a
point, like it's not
requirement.
as cool.
Right.
It used to be like, oh, she's with oh my god, this is crazy. And then at a certain point, it's like, here we go again. Like this girl's with Pete Davidson.
Exactly.
Now-
How do you think these things come about? Like how do you think he gets hooked up with these
Do you
hot
think
ass
it's
models?
PR?
I don't think it's PR. I do think that like someone is introducing him to all these people. Like, does he slide into all these DMs or do these women like reach out to him? It sounded like Kim reached out to him. based on
Right,
like
yeah.
She had
the
to know what that BDE
SNL
was
thing
about.
and whatever.
SNL
Right.
thing, yeah.
All that sounded
Yeah.
like Kim reached out to him, but I wonder if he's like DMing these hot bitches. You know?
Right.
Like, did he DM Kate Beckinsale? Like, how did he get her?
That's why I think
You
it's
know?
like kind of like a PR thing too, because it's like they're always like 3 to 6 months. They're
Mm-hmm.
always right after each other as like someone's getting out of a relationship, but they're always like older, like married, formerly married women. Like
Right.
they all feel the exact same.
Yeah.
And so like, or it's going to be PR. Like at this point, it's like, oh, you just broke up with your long-term partner. Okay, let's get you with Pete Davidson.
Let's pop in with Pete Davidson. Yeah.
and then he
for
gets
sure.
paid because what's he really been up to recently in terms of career?
He's
moves?
well, you know what? He's got a movie coming out. He's got a movie
Oh.
coming out. I don't know if it's coming out soon or
He did
like
that
within
show
the
with
next 6
Kaylee
months.
Cuoco. I
What's
don't know if
that?
it was good. It was called like
I don't even know that. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Meet Cute.
But wasn't he like not even in that show? It was like one of those things where you get or no, he might have been.
Pete
You know what
Davidson
bothers me?
baited,
Yeah,
Zendaya baited,
yes,
like
yes.
Dune.
Oh, like Dune, yeah.
Like how they fucking do for they do that on the shit on Netflix all the time, which is a good transition for our topic. The screen, like when you go, it happens with the movie Set It Up.
Oh yeah,
That
and
Pete
it
Davidson
shows,
is
Pete
like-
Davidson
barely
looks like a
in.
main
He's like the
character.
best friend of the guy,
Yeah.
and he's like in it for a total of maybe 10
That's
minutes
like-
of the whole
and like
movie.
Lady
and he's the
Bird,
fucking cover. Yes,
They
with
do
Tim-
like
with-
they just put Timothy Chalamet on the
Yes.
cover
Right.
of Lady Bird, and,
And it's
Timothy's
like,
in it
come
for like
on.
15 minutes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that's crazy. That's crazy shit. So I wonder if it's. I thought Meet
I'm
Cute
pretty
was maybe
sure-
a vibe like that, but it might
I'm
not
pretty
be.
sure that he's like the main.
He's like in
love
it. In it.
interest. And
Damn, I
Kaylee
haven't
Cuoco's the
seen
girl.
it.
It's like
You know why? Because I hate Kaylee Cuoco. I know that's a
Yeah.
controversial
I don't
thing
really
to say.
mind her.
I have
but
like I have
can-
no opinion towards.
I'm pretty
her.
sure it's like a
I just hate Big Bang Theory. Is what
day
it is.
after
Well, yeah.
not day after tomorrow vibe. You relive the same day over and over.
Groundhog Day.
Truman
Yeah,
Show,
Groundhog
yeah.
Day. Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Interesting. I'll have to put that on my list. But speaking of the list, let's move on from all these people. Best of luck to Pete Davidson and Emrata. Best of luck to Giselle and her Taekwondo instructor.
Hope they're getting slayed.
Love seems to be in the air.
Slay.
Best of luck to everybody
Slay
trying to get
and
Taylor
lay.
Swift tickets. Okay, let's talk about what I wanted to talk about today, which was just a little catch up on the TV shows we're all watching right now. A little binge marathon situation. I feel like there are a lot of good seasons of shows and new shows coming out this fall that I've either already watched or have on my list. And the number one I want to talk about, actually, no, I'm going to go backwards because this one I'll probably take the longest time I'm talking about. We have White Lotus. Do you guys watch White Lotus at all?
I need to. I've seen a ton of
It is
clips.
so fucking good. It's so fucking good. And
I
did you
heard
watch
that season 2 is way better.
Season 2 so far, I'm loving. I'm needing it to kind of pick up the pace. Although it's only episode 3, so I'm getting crazy. But the storylines that they're building are incredible. This most recent episode that was this past Sunday was so good. I'll try my best not to be like spoiler of specific things for these shows. I'll just talk about like the character traits of people. Currently this season, obviously my favorite character is Aubrey Plaza. She's on it and she plays like
she
this.
slays.
She's kind of like, she's like super liberal, super concerned about the world, super like you know, I don't want to say judgmental, although she is judgmental of like the people they're on vacation with who are just like fly by the seat of their pants, whatever. But she and her boyfriend recently came into a bunch of money, so now they're hanging out with like rich people, and you know they're finding out that rich people are monsters basically, and just like uneducated and whatever. Like that's kind of the vibe. And I love this role that she's playing because I feel like it's kind of close to her real personality. I feel like she's definitely acting, and I've seen her act in a lot of different things. One of my favorite movies of all time, Ingrid Goes West. Have you guys seen that fucking movie?
No.
Ooh, must watch.
That's
Must
with,
watch. Elizabeth Olsen as well.
Olsen, yes.
It's Aubrey Plaza, Elizabeth Olsen. Aubrey Plaza has like an obsessive compulsion. She gets obsessed with like her friends and she stalks them through social media, and she becomes obsessed with Elizabeth Olsen, who's like an influencer online, and she like inserts herself into her life, and like it's like it's fucking crazy. It's a really good movie. But she plays like a desperate crazy girl, and I like when she plays these kind of like uptight on edge roles because I feel like they go well with her. But White Lotus so far, it opens up with like a murder. We don't really know, we don't know who's dead, we don't know what's going on, so we're still trying to figure out what the hell's happening there. But as far as the show itself, it's based in Italy this time around, and a lot of it is like Italian and with Italian subtitles. And I kind of like how they're incorporating subtitles with different languages into these shows that are just like, you got to watch it. Like you got to deal with it. The show's like half in Italian.
Oh, really?
And
What?
yeah, it's a lot of Italian.
Wow.
And like each episode is like there's a couple scenes with specific people who like only speak Italian to each other, and so that's kind of crazy. But love it, highly recommend it. I won't give away too much about the story, but again, Aubrey Plaza is shining, as is Jennifer Coolidge. As always, she's so fucking funny and so good. Her character is so bizarre, but so like, I don't like, she's just like this rich daughter heiress, but she's like older now, and she just has never had a normal life, and she's just looking for love, and she like thinks that she found it, and she's not quite sure, and it's just like a, you know, it's weird and a nightmare. So it's really interesting to watch. But another show that's on my list that I watched recently that is also like half in Italian is the show From Scratch. Did you guys watch that? Oh my God, you guys are crazy. But From Scratch is the one that everybody's telling you to watch, and they're like, brace yourself, you're gonna cry your eyes out the whole time, like blah blah blah.
Wait,
it's the one with Zoe Saldana, I think. Isn't
Is it about? What's it about?
Who is in it? Maybe it's not Zoe.
I'm pretty sure it's always Aldana.
It's about, let's see, From Scratch. It is about a woman who marries her, Zoe Saldana, and Eugenio Mastrandrea. He's an Italian man. He's so hot.
Sounds sexy.
It's about this woman who like meets the love of her life, and it's like unorthodox, and you know, she's a black woman, he's like a white Italian man, she's from America. They have like family conflict as far as like race and culture and whatever. But you know, then they have these like, again, I don't want to give it away, but then they have these like really intense family issues that they have to work through, and it is like a waterworks like situation.
Is
like
it supposed to be like a take on like Romeo and Juliet? Or is it just?
It's
am I just
maybe a little bit, kind of. Yeah, it is kind of. Like, you could make that comparison. You could make that comparison, but it's sad as fuck. But that's another one that's like half in Italian. You have to read subtitles and stuff. But I kind of like it. I'm kind of liking hearing the other language while I'm watching it. It's like makes me feel like I'm learning something, even if I'm not. And but that's another one you must watch. I think that some people are really pushing it, being like, oh my God, must watch, like it's a crying movie, whatever, or crying show. And I liked it very much. I teared up definitely, and maybe I was just not in the right mood to be like watching it the way I was watching it, or the way that everybody else was sobbing for days about it. But just a fair warning, you might sob for days. I don't know. Very good show. House of the Dragon. Do you guys watch that?
Yes.
that's a Gia
Thank
show?
you. Excellent. Perfect. What did you think of House of the Dragon? I loved it personally.
I loved it.
Yeah. It
I
was super fun.
yeah. You know,
It was different.
I liked how it was like not as like gory and like intense as Game of Thrones. Like obviously there were scenes that were like, oh my God, I can't look at this, especially like that the first scene in the last episode where she's like giving birth and to the
Oh
baby
God,
that
yeah.
passed away.
Right.
That scene's so
To, like,
fucking
the
insane. But like
pieces.
I just feel like
It was nuts.
there was a lot of like unnecessary like sexual assault scenes and stuff in Game of
Yeah,
Thrones, and like
yes,
I like how
totally.
it's not as like sex based. It's very much like story.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I would say that they sacrificed all the like rape and stuff and just inserted a ton of incest. There's twice as much incest, more
Yeah.
incest than ever.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that is kind of weird to me. Not in a way of like, oh no, I can't watch it. Like obviously I can watch a fucking show. I can like appreciate it. But it does make me feel weird when I'm thinking about like Rhaenyra and Daemon being together. I'm like, yes, you guys are so perfect for each other. But it's like
know.
also it's aunt and uncle, and this is pervy and,
I know.
and gross
that one
and
scene where she's
inappropriate.
like,
and
we have to get married, uncle. I'm like, don't call him uncle.
yeah, what? Like
Don't
that's
call him
fucking
uncle.
creepy.
Yeah.
Stop. Although
know.
Cersei always was calling Jamie my dear brother, which
I
is so
know.
gross.
So
like
gross.
beyond. But no, I loved it. I thought it was excellent.
Yeah,
I'm
love.
really looking forward to season 2.
Oh yeah.
I think that if you like Game of Thrones, you'll love House of the Dragon. I think you have to watch the whole season to really like appreciate it, understand
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
wrap it all up, whatever. Like you can't just like give up after 2 episodes. Like
Yeah,
there's a
no.
lot to learn. And I
it
also
moves very slowly, and a lot of like the
Yes.
big stuff doesn't happen to the end of the episode.
Exactly. And
Which
remember,
is-
and remember, this is what happened with Game of Thrones. Seasons 1 and 2, Game of Thrones are like some of the most boring seasons of TV, but they like, for the most part,
Yeah.
but they like set it up for the rest of the fucking things. It's like,
Yeah.
you have to pay attention. You have to get in on it.
Yeah.
Did you have a problem with the like changing of the guard every time there'd be time jumps and they would do different actors and actresses for different people who have obviously grown in that
Yeah.
time? Did you have a problem with it?
I didn't want to, but I kind of did. I loved
Yeah.
Millie Alcock, the girl who played
Yeah.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah, she was great.
I feel like Emma D'Arcy, they were really good,
Mm-hmm.
but they just didn't have the same chemistry with, I I forget the actor's name, Matt Smith. As
Totally
I
agree.
feel like Millie Alcock did, which is like
Totally
weird 'cause she's like
agree.
a little younger, but I think she's like 20 or 21, whatever.
Yeah,
but-
she's like of
Yeah.
appropriate age. But yeah, it is funny how they kept having to change Rhaenyra.
I know they changed
and not really
Rhaenyra
anybody else. It
and-
does make- and
whatever her
Allison.
name is, and Allison, but
It
they
does
didn't
make
change
sense.
Damon.
Yeah, they didn't change Damon at all.
Christian Cole.
Viserys, Christian Cole.
Also, it was funny how we were like texting about Christian Cole,
Yeah.
like he's so hot, I love him,
Oh, yeah, what
whatever.
a
And then he
fucking
ended
loser,
up being
huh?
like the literal
He's the worst.
scum of the earth.
He's the
worst
fucking
guy.
worst. And
Yeah.
I'm so upset. Like I thought I was onto something quick. Like I followed him immediately. It was like all
I
his
know.
pics.
I was like, he
yeah,
has
yeah.
16,000 followers, Kelly. You gotta
I
get
was
on it
in
now.
on Christian Cole, like
Yeah.
episode 1. I was like, yes, king. And no, he's the fucking worst.
Yeah.
We hate him. He's disgusting. Also, proud of you for using Emma Darcy's pronouns
Thank you.
properly immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, look at this bitch. She's so smart.
Is
I
that the-
like forgot honestly.
Is that the person that does the spagliato?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A
With Prosecco in
Negroni
it.
spagliato
Yeah.
with prosecco in it. I
Yes.
say that to myself 100,000 times a day. Like I don't know why, it's just in my head all the time.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
That video is always, and now whenever I see it in Negroni, I'm always just like
I'll say it,
spagliato.
spagliato.
And apparently, a Negroni spagliato is like disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's like
Yeah.
disgusting.
it's a very bitter drink.
Yeah, I
It's
mean, I
not-
don't even
it's
like
not very
Negronis
good.
to begin with. My brother and my dad love Negronis,
Yeah.
but I just don't.
I'm whatever about Negronis. I'll have a
Yeah.
Negroni if it's there.
Around.
It's
Yeah.
kind of good. But yeah, I would say it's very
Prosecco
bitter,
in
not
it.
very good. Spagliato
Yeah.
with prosecco in it.
Yeah.
I like all the
remixes.
remixes. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Negroni. Do spagliato. Do with prosecco in it. With prosecco in it. All right. I'll stop.
Yeah.
But yeah. All overall, I would say it was a fantastic show.
Yeah.
I also am loving. White Lotus says the same thing. I'm loving tuning into a show on a Sunday. Like, yes, I want to binge the whole
Totally.
thing at once. Like, I'm excited, whatever.
I know,
but
that's what I miss.
I look
Sundays feel
forward
so
to it.
boring now without it. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, I
Like,
want to
it
watch
gives me
something.
something to do.
Euphoria.
Yeah. Euphoria.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Succession to come back.
Oh my
That's
God, that's not till like next fall, right?
No, in the spring apparently.
Is it spring? Spring
Yeah.
2023?
Yeah.
I forget what their little thing said. Regardless, when does Euphoria come back? Probably not.
Oh
till,
my God, like
5
18,000
years.
years from now.
That
It's
show sucked.
ridiculous. Euphoria.
Season 2 was so ass, I thought.
Oh, really?
We would
watch
I-
it
I don't
together
know
every
if
Sunday.
if I liked it or hated it. I think that I was entertained. I'm always entertained by the shows.
Sam
And I feel like if
Levinson
I'm
just-
entertained, I'm always like, all right, I like it. You know, just because I'm
Yeah.
entertained.
Sam Levinson just chose the wrong choice every single thing for season 2. I thought
He does a lot of he makes a lot of wrong choices.
Oh,
I think that
God.
I think he's starting to get a little too in his head because isn't the show like kind of loosely based on his life?
Oh, I
or-
don't know.
I think it is. It's
I-
like a
I
little
feel
bit.
like-
It's not spot on. It's not like a 1-to-1
an
comparison.
interpretation.
I think his Rue is like his. He like was Rue in
Oh,
like
really?
in like one capacity or another. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read that. He like is not maybe not as intense, maybe not as as
I
like
hope
said,
not as intense.
1-to-1.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm pretty sure that was like his life, or he experienced that somehow, like a friend or something. Like I forget. It's very personal to him. So I think that the show is now starting to feel like a little personal to him.
Yeah.
But watching it with that lens kind of makes me think like, oh fuck, this is crazy.
Right.
He's not just like making shit up. You
Yeah,
know?
we watched it together this past season, and it was just like so close.
Yeah.
And then he would do one thing, like, fuck, that ruins it.
And you're like, why? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like it at all.
I feel like you
I
guys
like
are
it,
not
though.
alone. I feel like a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't like it as well. But we're still gonna tune in. Still gonna keep watching.
Yes, unfortunately, I will watch season 3.
I saw shout out to store.barstoolsports.com, Ugly Sweaters, the KFC radio team. I think Jackie came out with one, or she was modeling them at least. I don't know if she came out with it, but she has a ugly Christmas sweater with crying Sydney Sweeney on it. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
I've never ever been happier. Hilarious.
funny, yeah.
Hilarious. It's like all white and blue or whatever. It's a really good sweater. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Excited for whatever. I think that all the good shows always tend to come out in the spring, you know, like all the ones that we're looking for. So I guess we're just gonna have to wait for that.
I'm just not a big show person.
Me neither.
Like, there's a handful of shows that I'll watch, but yeah, I don't know. I just like. I guess it depends, but like most of like the stuff that people watch, like I just don't. I'm more of a movie. Like
Yeah,
I'll
you're a
watch
movie
a
girl?
movie. Yeah,
I do both.
Rather than watch a
I do
show.
all the above. Do you guys watch The Crown?
I used to.
I
Yeah.
need to get into it.
I stopped watching after like season 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
When they changed from the older Helen Boehm Carter when she was
When she's
the
Anne?
sister. Yeah, when she's Anne.
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
the season I stopped watching.
She is great. I love Helena Bonham
Yeah, oh
Carter
my
and
God,
that.
so good.
It's her and when, that's when Olivia Colman is the queen, right?
Yes.
Who
Yeah, I didn't watch that
love.
season.
I die
Which I
for
don't
her.
know why I
love her.
didn't. I need to get back
You
into
know
it
what?
because I've
I
seen
also-
clips and it looks so good.
I want
It
to watch
is
season
really
4
good.
and 5.
It is really good, and I feel like it's a show. I've also done the same thing where I'll watch one season or 2 seasons or something, and then I fall off completely of The Crown. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those shows that I just easily fall off of. I think because I like know the story already and care about the story already, so
Yeah.
it's like all
You know what
I don't
happens.
right. I don't feel like I need to like catch up. But season 5 just came out again. Not gonna spoil too much. I've watched up to like episode 6 or something by now. It's excellent, especially if you care about Charles and Camilla drama, which
I
I
do.
I
do.
saw that they like totally word for word like did the
Yes.
the,
The
phone
interview.
call between them.
Yes, so that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about. So this isn't a spoiler because it's been literally all over the fucking like
It's
every
history. It
single
literally-
Yeah,
it's
it's
literally
like-
history.
yeah.
It happened actually in real life, and everybody's talking about how this is like the most controversial scene in The Crown, and why the palace themselves were actually nervous about the season of The Crown coming out. They were worried about what's going to happen because the Queen just died. Is it going to make her look bad? Also, all this Charles stuff now that he's king is coming out. It's going to make him look bad. And what I'm referring to is a leaked phone call he had with Camilla Parker Bowles while they were. He called her at her house and was running a speech by her that he was gonna like give the next day, some kind of address, and then it turned into a little bit of like sexting, little sex, phone sex, little phone sex
Disgusting.
action, which it's hard to think about Charles having phone sex
Yeah.
with anybody.
Yeah.
And it started off like, oh, like, where are you? I'm sitting on the bed. Ooh, lucky bed, like stuff like that,
He's like, I want to be your Tampax.
Yes, so that's the
Yeah,
thing. So
bro,
he
it's
starts
disgusting.
off tame, then it turns into like, oh, I just wish I could like be on you all the time. And she's like, what do you wish you could be like my trousers?
Yeah.
And he's like, God forbid I'd be a Tampax. Like,
Yeah.
the conversation goes on and on about how he just wants to like keep being tampon so he can like be inside of her all the
Yeah.
time, which is so fucking gross. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, okay, Charles, like you're a freak.
know.
Like, okay.
Yeah, it honestly makes him more like
Sure.
human.
Totally. Like
Yeah.
I actually don't hate it. Like I think it's super gross. And I think obviously at the time, I'm sure it was like the most humiliating thing to ever happen to poor
Oh,
Diana.
yeah.
Although at this point they were separated. So it's not like, they weren't divorced yet, but they were separated. Charles just continued to like embarrass Diana all the time. Although like this one, I don't think is on him. They thought they're having a private fucking phone call and somebody recorded it. Like that's crazy. Like that
I know.
sucks. It's
Like, how does that
sad.
even
Like
happen
whatever.
back then?
I don't
Never in my life would I think I'd be sticking up for Charles on that, like ever, but I am sticking up for him with that because like that's a private phone call, whatever. Something too that I want to point out about The Crown is that they have Dominic West playing Charles,
He's
which
too
is
hot.
too hot. He's
Yeah.
too hot. I love him too much.
Yeah.
I like him too much. And I'm like, I don't like Charles as a person. Like Charles is a monster and I'm loving him as Dominic West. And whoever, I don't know who it is. I should look it up, but I forget. The woman who's playing this iteration of Camilla is spot fucking on. Like it
really?
might as well be young Camilla. Like I don't know how she is so identical, but she looks great. Like let me say
The woman who's playing
The
Princess
Crown.
Diana is absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
so fucking beautiful.
And I've
So
seen interview
beautiful.
clips with her, and she is like honestly reminds me of Diana's personality. Like I've been watching
Yes.
interview clips, like she just seems wonderful.
Very much, very much. I'm trying to see who the fuck.
Who's the lady? Isn't there a lady
Olivia
from Harry Potter
Williams,
in it?
I think. Yes. So
Who is she?
Umbridge.
Umbridge.
Professor Umbridge is the fucking queen.
Queen.
Which
Oh,
is
she's
tough.
the queen in it?
Yeah.
Which is
Which
tough.
is a total like role reverse.
It's so hard to like. Oh yeah, Imelda Stanton is her
Okay.
real name, and I was saying that too. I was like, it's gonna be impossible to watch Dolores Umbridge as the
Yeah,
queen,
yeah.
because I hated Umbridge obviously on Harry Potter, and she's so ingrained to be like the most hated person, and she played that role so fucking well that whenever I see her now, I'm like, ugh, Umbridge.
Yeah,
gross.
totally.
However, she has been in Downton Abbey a few times, and so I've seen her be like a sweet person. I've seen her like act in different roles, so I wasn't so shocked about this casting because she looks just fucking like the queen. I think
she
that
does.
she's like identical. It's a really good casting role, and I'm shocked that she's playing the role so well to the point where I'm like forgetting that she was Umbridge. Like I think that it's easier than you think. Like I thought I was gonna have a hard time, but I'm not. She's doing a really good job, and it's excellent. Hold on, I'm trying to see right here. Olivia Williams plays Camilla Parker Bowles, and she's fucking crushing it. She's doing so great. But a girl I know from college tweeted this the other day, something along the lines of like, Charles and Camilla suck, whatever, but I would really love to see a spinoff of their love, of their life, whatever.
Yeah.
Because like Charles is obsessed with Camilla. Like they are so in love. Like their love story is interesting. Like if it wasn't
Interesting, yeah.
if it wasn't at like Diana's expense, like all that other stuff, Diana really is the only reason why everybody hates Charles and Camilla is because of what happened and how that transpired and how like unfair it was that Diana had to like become a part of this institution and whatever. But there is no denying that Charles has always loved Camilla. Like he loved Diana too, but he loved Camilla first and more always. And like, I feel bad for him in that way because like he, again, was a victim of the institution. He couldn't do what he wanted to do because Camilla was divorced. Also, she was like making a fool of her whole family too. Like, you know, neither of them were innocent in any way, but their chemistry is so clear that it's like, oh, well, duh, they're in love. Duh, they should be together. Like, this is crazy. And so I would be interested in seeing like a spinoff of the two of them in like a positive light, only because for the first time ever, I am starting to be like, all right, well, Camilla and Charles, whatever. So that being said, I think Charles needs to write a big fat fucking thank you to Netflix for casting Dominic West and making him and Camilla's relationship likable. Like, I think that it's kind of nuts, like how I've flipped on that because I am on record just like shitting all over them. But I don't know. It's really good. The season is good. I think that you don't necessarily need to catch up on all the other seasons to watch this latest season. It's very interesting. But I will say season 4 is really good. So watch it anyway, I think.
Again, Emma Corinne, slay.
Yes. Huge slay. Love.
I
Okay.
will no longer be blamed for this gross misalliance.
Not the mother of your children. Don't bring the boys into this.
Fine, not the mother of your children.
Wait, that was
Scenes
like
all
good.
over
That was
my
really
TikTok.
good. That was fantastic. You guys crushed that. Wow. Okay, so the last show I want to talk about is it's a show that has just taken the nation by storm, and that is Love Is Blind. And I'm devastated that neither of you have watched this because I know that this conversation would pop off if you had. And I should have told you in advance to watch a couple episodes, but I only just decided to do this yesterday, so that's on me. But the season, or I'll start off by saying the show Love Is Blind, I think is one of the most creative and honest reality TV shows where it concerns dating that I've ever seen. Like I'm a Bachelor girl, you guys know that. I'll always watch some sort of reality love combo, something along those lines. I have never seen anything like Love Is Blind. And I think a lot of people will maybe go into the show or judge the show prematurely thinking that it's going to be some fake shit. Like how could these people possibly fall in love without seeing each other? Like it's all fake. It's all for the cameras, whatever. I'm telling you right now, it is not. I have never seen such honesty out of these people, whether it makes them look good or it makes them look bad. It's fucking amazing. And the couples that came out of season 3, I want to give shout outs to Alexa and Brennan are amazing, like adorable, perfect. I think that I don't know how they didn't know each other in a life before this. Like they are just complete soulmates. They get along so well. Their families mesh so well, even though they're so different. Like it's amazing. I love them together. I will say that Colleen and what the fuck is her boyfriend's name? It's escaping me because I don't trust him. I think that he's a little sketchy. I think that Colleen is fine. Let's see. Colleen and Matt is his name. I think that Matt freaked out a lot of times on the show. I think he had like maybe one too many freakouts to make me feel comfortable when Colleen was like barely doing anything. I think Colleen looks low-key terrified anytime they're together. Not saying anything about that, but like I just think that their relationship is, they're together. They're not living together yet. They're like moving together soon, but they aren't married. And, or, you know, they got married on the show. Sorry, spoiler. That's a spoiler. Whatever. That's fine. You'll see what I mean. But okay, actually, moving forward, moving forward, there will be spoilers for Love Is Blind. So if you don't want to watch, because I have to spoil it to talk about these people. So if you don't want to listen, shut it off now. Colleen and Matt got married. They seemed great at the wedding, whatever. When they came back for the reunion, it just seems like Colleen was so afraid, not afraid of Matt. I think she's so afraid of rocking the boat that when they were discussing all the other bullshit that happened with Cole and oh my God, why am I not thinking of her name? Cole and Zay. And I think that she was so guilty about how she was portrayed when she was like chatting with Cole in the pool. And he was like talking about how like she's the kind of girl he would go for in the real world and she is his type and whatever. And her not like totally cutting it off right away. Although she did go back and tell Matt like everything afterwards that was said. I think that she's probably getting a lot of backlash for that because of how Cole was treating Zay outside of that I think that she's just like so afraid of like looking bad or rocking the boat at this point. So she, during the entire reunion, just like looked terrified to me. And I feel like Matt wants to stick up for her and wants to like stand out stand up and stand out and say about what an amazing woman she is. And he has, and he did during the reunion. But I do think that that topic being such a central part of the reunion was definitely like making her uncomfortable because it was such a hard time with her and Matt. Like Matt freaked the fuck out about that multiple times. So it's like, we're going to trudge up all this bullshit again. I think she's just like worried it's going to ruin everything. So that's my thoughts on Colleen and Matt. I'm obsessed with the fact that Raven and SK are together now. I think that they were always destined for greatness. I think that the pressure of them having to having to deal with SK's family a little bit, and it was all very cultural and very significant and very serious. And I think that scared Raven a little bit because it was like, oh my God, this is a huge plunge, like whatever. But ultimately, I do think she was a great match for him. And I think that without the pressures of the show, they're going to be fantastic. Like they're so great and they seem so great and so in love. So proud of them, love them. Nancy, hope the best for Nancy, whatever. Bartise, I hope... I was just going to say, like, I hope he drops dead. Like, no joke. Like, I fucking hate this guy, you guys. He is the worst kind of fuckboy I've ever met in my entire life. He kept saying, like, his whole thing was with this girl, Nancy. And he just kept saying that he would, like, lose interest in her physically. Like, he just kept thinking he was the hottest fucking guy in the world.
Oh, that reminds me of the guy from the Deep Tease guy.
It was a lot like Deep Tease guy. So much like Deep Tease guy. However... I will say Bartise was like a little bit more handsome than Deep Tease guy. Like Deep Tease guy, I forgot his name even.
Yeah, me too.
Was so so delusional. Bartise is delusional as well, but not quite as delusional, I would say. Although he's such an asshole.
Isn't the whole point that the love is blind?
Yes. And so he kept being like, I am in love with you and I do care for you, but like physically it's just not there. It's just
I
not
think
there.
I saw this on TikTok.
And he would say that, yeah, and he would like say that to her face, and he would like say to her face like, yo, like Raven is the person that I'm going for, or that I usually would go for. Like we're the people that people come up to, because Raven's like this smoking hot like Pilates instructor, like she's got like a great body, she's really pretty. But Bartise just went off about her physically, being like, she's what people come up to in the bar, and I'm someone people come up to in the bar. So like we would be great together, but maybe not, because we just kind of do our own thing. Like he was so fucking full of himself the whole time, and he kept putting down Nancy and the way that she looked. And I don't know how that she like, and Nancy was beautiful. Like I don't understand why he was so rude to her,
Looking them
but
up.
whatever. Oh yeah, please look him up. You'll roll your eyes out of your head. But he's just such a fucking prick, and he was such an asshole.
What's
on
his
the
name?
Bartise, Bartise. Stupid name.
Picture?
I think it's this dude. That one. Is that guy?
Let me see. Oh, it's a video.
Oh, is he the one that gets married?
That's him. They don't get married. No.
Oh, she's beautiful.
He
cute.
says no to her at the altar.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yes. And I watched that on the plane, and I like was gasping on the plane because I thought he had turned it around. Like there was a time where he was like, no. And then all of a sudden they were all back in on it. They were really sweet. Like, I don't know. It seemed like maybe he opened his eyes and realized he was being a fuckboy douchebag. He's also like 25 or 26. So they kept saying that to him. Like, you're so young. Like you're acting like your age.
Wait, quick cue. Do they not see each other until they walk down the aisle?
No. They see each other. They make this relationship in these pods, and then they see each other once they like get engaged in the pods before they see each other, and then they see each other, and then usually most times it's like this big, oh my god, hugs, kisses, whatever. I don't know if I've ever seen one where the reception wasn't great. I've definitely seen them where it's like a little, some are more hesitant than others. Some
Like
of them
subdued.
some of them they like literally run into their arms, and it's like they're, they found the love of their life. Other times it's like a little bit more hesitancy, but usually it's well received.
Yeah.
And again, like Bartise is, he's fine looking. He's not like Prince fucking Charming. And Nancy is totally pretty, beautiful, nice, like nothing wrong with her at all. if we're comparing her to like other women, I don't know. It doesn't make me feel right. She's like beautiful and wonderful. Like there was no need for anybody to like be disappointed in like who they ended up with, especially if they already loved them on the inside. So it's like, what the fuck? But they were totally fine at first, and then he said no to her at the altar. Her family got very involved and was like yelling at him. I thought that her family like was too involved. Like her family came up at the end, and she was like trying to have a private conversation with him, just Nancy and Bertice trying to have this private conversation, and fucking like her mom's coming up every 5 minutes trying to jump in the conversation. Her brother's coming up trying to get in the conversation.
Like they're trying to get their little ounce of fame too.
Yes, and they just kept being like in it, and I don't know, it just bothered me so much. And like I understood that they were like sticking up for Nancy and trying to do right for her, but at the same time, it's like there are cameras rolling and this is a unique situation. Just step the fuck out. Like just relax. Like this isn't about you. And Nancy had to keep saying that to her own family, being like, this isn't about you. And it's just it was annoying to me. And so Bartiz continues to be a fuckboy. Apparently, like right after the show was done filming, he like immediately was out on some yacht with some like bitch on his lap. Like he's an asshole. We hate him forever. Whoops, I hit the plant. We hate him forever. And that's that. But the real couple that everyone is discussing and everyone's talking about are Cole and Zay. And they, Zeneb is her full name. And they seemed so in line with each other in the pods. So Cole was a little bit younger. I want to say he's like 26, 27. Zay is in her 30s, low 30s, I think. And they connected on a level in the pods that I was like, oh my God, wow, these two are for real. They both are very like God forward. Like they love God, they love to pray, whole thing. That's always like a bullseye, you know, like if two people love God, that's great. And I think that Zay was very mature. I think that Cole was a little immature, but I think that that's kind of like what they liked about each other. I think that Zay is kind of like a motherer, and I think that Cole is someone who likes to be mothered. So I think that's kind of how they like got together, and it seemed to work really well. The problem is that Cole also kind of consistently made comments about how physically, again, Zay wasn't exactly what he was looking for. And it kind of just sounded like, so Zay is Middle Eastern. I'm not exactly sure where, but she referenced a lot of her family living in the Middle East, and she also has family in England. Both of her parents have passed away. So it's like she has a complicated family tree and cultural history. Cole is like a boring white guy. And I think after they met each other, Cole really liked her. She's like a petite brunette, nothing crazy, you know. To be honest, she's kind of generic, like if we're being real. And he then later on had this like inappropriate conversation with Colleen, who's also like a generic petite brunette, and was like, you're more my type, you're more my type, and kept being like, you're more my, like, I would typically go for girls like you. I would typically go for girls like you. And in my head, I was like, so you typically go for petite brunettes? Because the girl you have is exactly that. Are you trying to say like, I typically go for white girls? Like that's kind of what it sounded like. And I asked a couple of my friends this. I was like, is that what it seems like he's saying? And they agreed. And so I just kind of like, am thinking that. And I think that that was a barrier for him. Somehow, nobody has said this on the show. Nobody has said this out of their mouths. So I'm putting words in these people's mouths. But that's just like, if you watch it, you kind of get that vibe. And so I think that like he just isn't used to like something different in his life. So that's what's happening. Again, also, she's older. He kept making comments about her weight unintentionally. And I think that part of his arguments were like, I don't know. He just kept saying subtle things that if you are sensitive to about your weight, you would take them as insults. If you're not sensitive about your weight, you're not thinking about those things, you don't think about them in any other way. Like he would say things. They had this huge argument at the reunion that was like not shown on TV or during the season regularly, that they had this argument about how Zay like hadn't eaten all day because Cole kept commenting about how like just kind of commenting about her body, I guess. And she hadn't eaten all day, and she went to go eat 2 little like cuties clementines, and Cole was like, oh, you're gonna eat both of those? Like you better save your appetite for later, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's how the story was told to us. And in my head, I was like, ugh, typical like guy, just like making low-key comments about weight, being like, oh wow, you're eating again? Like, whoa, like guys do that, and that just happens. And Zay is somebody who's very self-conscious about that situation, especially after Cole was going on and on about how I was like such a fan of Colleen, such a fan of other people. And like it got back to her and had this super inappropriate conversation and whatever. And so she took it very very much to heart, very seriously, and it shattered her confidence. So much so that when they were at the altar on their wedding day, Zay made a big point to be like, I'm not going to marry you. You have a lot of growing up to do, and you shattered my confidence, and I think you need to like learn a lesson, basically. Like, she took it upon herself to like make an example of him, and people were saying that that it seemed like, I think my friend's husband said this, that it seemed like she was trying to have her deep D moment where she was like, and I got you, like, forget it. Like, I've taught you a lesson. I've made you feel like shit. It was the same vibes as that. So Cole was kind of left like dapping it up with his friends, and they're like, it's all right, man. It's all right, man. Like, don't worry about it. And he was crying. He was like, I didn't know that she felt that way. Like, we never really talked specifically about that. And I also think that was wrong. So I think that in both scenarios, with Cole and Zay, they both reacted a little immaturely, and I think they both reacted like, I think Cole didn't use his brain, and I think Zay wasn't communicating correctly. And I think that resulted in what happened in the finale, where they just were like going back and forth to each other, kind of yelling at each other and trying to figure out what was going on. Cole ended it in like fucking tears. Like, I thought Cole was gonna kill himself on that couch. Like, he was like, I just don't know. Like, at the end, Vanessa and Nick are always asking, Lachey, the Lacheys are always asking, would you guys do this again? Does anybody regret their experience? And no one has ever said, no, I don't regret it. But this time Cole said it. Cole was like, I do regret it. And they were like, wow, no one's ever said it. Why do you say that? And he's like, because why would I not regret, shattering someone's confidence and like ruining their life? And he's like now having a mental breakdown on the couch, being like, I was the worst person. Like, I need to grow up. I didn't know how horrible I was. Like, I feel like shit. And so then immediately Zay turns into being like, I don't regret anything. I would do it all the exact same. Like, you taught me a lot. I still love you. I think you're a great person. You just like weren't for me, and you needed to learn that lesson and whatever. And then at the end of the entire thing, they showed the clip that Zay was referencing about the cuties. And it is so clear that he wasn't thinking and she was feeling sensitive. And I've never seen, like, it's so funny how you hear both sides of a story, and it can shape or make or break an entire situation for everyone. And then when you watch it back, it's so like harmless. Like, I don't know. Like, in my head, like, I'm not standing up for Cole, because I do think Cole was kind of an asshole most of the time. I hated the shit he pulled with Colleen. I thought that was fucking crazy. And like, again, he acted like a child, but I do think he really liked Zay. And especially now, I think he looked like shit on the stage. Like, he's not having a good time. Like, he had like a beard and bad hair. And it reminded me of Shane at the Ultimatum Shane in last season of when he came back after, him and Natalie broke up, and he came back looking like so fucking disheveled, like his life was over. That's how Cole showed up to the reunion. And I just think that, I don't know. I think that they both are at fault here. I think that Cole needed to grow up a little bit. I think that Zay kind of projected onto him a little bit at the same time. Right. And those are my official thoughts. And I was sad that they broke up, although I thought that Zay would like open up a little bit more. Like, and I hate saying this, I saw a lot of myself in Zay and some of the stuff she was saying. Like, she just kind of kept like, she was very picky about certain things. Like, they had to live together or whatever. And she just kept kind of nagging him about things, like picking up his towels and like, again, mothering him. But I do that shit all the time. If I'm like dating somebody who's kind of doesn't think about those things like I do, or isn't quite as like OCD as I am. And I hate that like image, because it looks naggy and it looks ridiculous, but at the same time it's like, can't you just pick up your fucking towels? Like, is it so hard? Like, what's the problem? So I understood that, but I think that she just needed maybe to like lighten up a little bit, and I think he needed to be more in tune with her feelings, and then maybe they could have worked out. So those are my thoughts on the new season of Love is Blind. I also want to give a shout out to The Ultimatum, which is a show I just brought up accidentally. Another fantastic show. And I think that Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey have just put the IV directly into the vein of reality TV. And I think that these two shows that they're doing are so amazing and so different from all the other shows. And I love the honesty on the shows. I keep saying that about this. Like, I just feel like, do you guys feel that with even other seasons of Love is Blind? Like, I think that it's people are so honest. Yeah. And it's like, it's crazy.
I like how Vanessa and Nick are like honest too.
Yes. They always talk about like troubles in their own relationship.
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing. And I think that it's so real And it's hard to say that about reality TV, you know? Like I
Is
feel
the
like it's
ultimatum-
rare.
Is the ultimatum the one where like they can choose to like leave their partner?
Yes, they come in like with their
with their
boyfriend,
partner, and they're
girlfriend, or
like,
fiance
put a
or
ring on it,
whatever.
or I'll
and-
leave you for a hottie.
Right, and they can leave you for somebody else in the queue,
Oh,
and
right.
like that's in there with other people. It's a crazy fucking show,
Yeah.
but it's really good. I don't know. It's just I don't know how they find these people to be so honest and not care so much about their like appearance outside.
Also, how do they just like find these people in general that like want to do those things?
I have no idea. Apparently, somebody. Who was it? Oh, Chief from Chicago for like season 1 or something was.
Didn't he, like-
he was like almost gonna be on it.
Yeah.
But then something happened. They were like worried about like
The
the
Barstool
Barstool
part.
aspect of it. They were like, we don't need it. Like we're changing the game, whatever. And it sucks because they really are. Like that's like they really didn't need any kind of bump. Like that show is so good, and I feel like I can't say nicer things about it. I just think it's an excellent idea. The people they find are great. And I'll keep watching for sure.
And I just feel like with like the Bachelor franchise right now, it's so played out and it's
Yes.
so like, okay, we get it.
Right. And I hate,
You know they're gonna break up in 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Like
The problem with The Bachelor right now is that they keep fucking, like, everybody keeps breaking up and getting new boyfriends, and then E! News posts about it the next day. It's like, this show's not over yet. Like, right now,
Yeah.
and we're recording Cutting Stems later. The finale for Bachelor in Paradise is next week. But currently, Victoria F. and Johnny are dating on Bachelor in Paradise, and E! News is posting the videos that Nick Viall is, putting on TikTok of Victoria F. and Greg Rippon fully dating, making out. Like, but that's
They
a
were in
spoiler.
Italy together.
Like, exactly. Like, that's a spoiler, but I'm not even being a spoiler because it's on fucking
No,
news.
it's everywhere. It's all over my TikTok feed.
And I'm so pissed about it. Like, it just makes me so mad. Like, why? The same thing happened when they made Rachel Lindsay the Bachelorette before she was off the season that she was on. Like, it just takes away from the show. Like, I don't want to watch any amount of time of Victoria F. and Johnny anymore because I know they broke up and she's dating somebody else already by now. So it's like, what the fuck? But I just wish that The Bachelor would just switch it up a little bit. What else are they gonna do? I don't know. I don't know what ideas I have for them for The Bachelor.
They just need to back the fuck off. The
Yeah.
producers need
Yeah.
to back off, and they just need to let it be way more natural.
Right.
It's just like it's become so fake. Like they need to do like Love Island.
Right.
Like
where
where
it's just like more time.
actually
Yeah.
real, and they have to pick people that actually want to get engaged, that aren't 22 and like are looking for, and they tried to do that with Claire Crawley, whatever, but Claire stinks, and
Claire
they
was
just need
insane.
they need someone that's like 27, 20, whatever, 6 or 8 or 30 or 30 in
Normal-
early 30s,
Yeah.
normal engagement age, and have these people that aren't looking for no social media presence.
Right. Can't have it.
And-
right. Like on Love is Blind.
yeah.
nobody knows who any of these people fucking are.
Yeah,
None
exactly.
of
And
their Instagrams
that's
are
why it
popping off. Like
works.
it's right. And it works so
Yes.
well. Like it's just,
Because you can't
don't
it's
know.
just so fake. And yeah, I just think the producers need to stop setting up these scenarios that are just so obviously not authentic. Like with The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like they do these dates and stuff.
It's
where
all
you can just
manufactured.
tell that it's
Yeah.
fake.
yeah.
That's why I feel like even though Matt James wasn't like a universally loved Bachelor, him and Rachel still work because he wasn't on The Bachelorette. Like he was just kind of like thrown into it because he was friends with Matt James.
Yes.
Tyler
Or
Cameron.
with Tyler Cameron.
Yeah.
And he was like, again, not really looking for this huge spotlight moment, I don't think.
No.
And, him and Rachel, again, have had their, had to work through
Had a
things.
little up and down. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But again, they're
But
together
ultimately
and
it
they
worked out.
And they seem normal, but I feel like it's because him, obviously, because he was the Bachelor, like, wasn't trying to do this, like, celebrity cash grab moment.
Totally.
Again, I could be totally wrong, but that's just
No,
what
I think you're
feel for
correct.
him.
I think you're completely correct.
And that's
I
why
also think
they're still together, like, 2 years later?
Totally. I also think that a lot of people that go on the show will like all these recycled people, like they're used to it, and if they come back, they're looking for something different. Like the first time on the show, maybe they're looking to get recognized, maybe they're looking for love, but once they start coming back second, third, fourth times, they are, they're on TV. They're now characters in the universe. I also think it's weird how all of the Bachelor people hang out outside of
I think that's
Bachelor.
so
I
weird.
think that makes
Yeah.
it harder when they all come back on, because there's
agree.
always like stories we don't know. They always have like relationships we don't know about, conversations we don't know about before or after the
Totally.
show. Like there's too much we're missing. We need to shake it up for these people to know each other as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are our official notes for The Bachelor. So Robert Mills, shout out. Listen, I know you listen to the pod. He probably doesn't either. He does follow me on Twitter though. And that's about it. So I think that's about all we're discussing today. I would love if people were to I didn't even go through my. That's okay. I pretty much talked about everything that everybody talked about. A lot of people were talking about all the shows I was discussing. A lot of people are rewatching their usual binges, like a lot of Real Housewives people in my shit. Like so
Vampire
whatever.
Diaries.
What's that?
Do you watch Vampire Diaries?
No, but I did have somebody respond. Vampire Diaries is like their comfort show.
Kelly.
One of my best friends watches
You
it and
need
is
to
obsessed
watch
with
it.
it.
My
Yeah,
best
I know.
friend
I must.
was obsessed with it growing
I
up.
must watch.
I am obsessed.
I must watch.
Anytime I'm like in a bad mood, I just put it right on. Season 1,
Damn.
episode 1. I just start and then I just watch until like season 3.
Damn it. That's what people
It's
say.
so
People
good.
say it's fantastic. Well, I would love
so bad that it's good. You know what I mean?
that. Oh, of course. Well, I love a show like that.
Yeah.
You know, I love a show like that. All right. I would love if people were to DM me, respond to me, tag me in their stories, whatever shows that I need to watch if I haven't already watched them, and maybe we'll do another TV roundup in the future, and I will have caught up by then. I'll be able to talk about them. All of your responses the other day, thank you so much for that. I'm sorry, I literally read 0 of them, but I will again take them into consideration for our next TV roundup. Remember, if you want to leave a voicemail at any point, the number is 551-258-3436. Remember to rate, subscribe, do all the things for Apple and Spotify and YouTube. And that's about it.
Yep.
Ladies, have a fantastic week.
You too, Kelly.
Thank you.